Listen to me, many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope, and you got to do me a favor. Like, you can't give up. You can't give in. Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back. He said, I know you knocked out 30 other people before me, but I won't be the 31st. You got to tell life, I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you ain't dealt with me. You got to tell bankruptcy. You got to tell divorce. You got to tell sickness. I don't know who you've been dealing with. As you're going through your go-through and you're ready to quit, you're ready to give up, you're ready to give in because it don't look like you think it should look. When you're in your dark place and they about to take over the whole place, you got to start thinking in ways you never thought before. I'm telling you right now because I care about you. I'm telling you right now because I've been there. I've done that. You've been in it for 3 years and you about to quit. You've been doing it for 5 years and it don't look like you think. You put all your money in it. You put all your time in it. People are looking at you crazy. 5 years you've invested. Holes. You put too much in it to quit now. It doesn't look like you think. You didn't get the grades you thought you were going to get. So maybe I'm not meant to be a lawyer.
You know what?
Some of you already know that it's hard. It's not easy. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. You are the one. No one can do it for you but you. And even though you will experience some setbacks, it goes with the territory. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass. What if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up? What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win. Where have you been? Why are you here? And where are you going? You look at your life. You look at what you produce. Is it giving you what you want? Are you living on purpose? Are you living your dream? Are you acting on your idea? Are you doing all you can do? Have you gotten comfortable? Are you procrastinating? Are you evading your own greatness? Are you surrounding yourself with people that can nourish you? Are you challenging yourself? Are you experimenting? Are you learning something different? Is your life an adventure or is it boring? Where have you been? Why are you here? What brought you here? And where are you going? What is it that you can get out of this lecture? That when you leave here, that you got some idea, some dream, that you might have to go back and brush it off and look at it again. And say, I've got to do this. This is my stuff. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is why I showed up. Where are you going with your life?
What your mind does is it creates what we call success barriers. And a success barrier is basically a limiting belief, a limiting self-image, or limiting behaviors, which will block you from getting success that you're not prepared to handle. So a limiting belief would be like, oh, the world is scarce, so I shouldn't even try. Or a limiting behavior would be like procrastination. And then, of course, you've got, I'm not good enough, I'm a fake, things like, just all this different stuff. And what they teach you in self-development is to overcome it, okay? To overcome your success barriers. But the reason why these success barriers exist is, again, to create nice, slow progress. You want to develop slowly. You don't want to grow too fast. Because if you grow too fast and you don't have an evolution in your consciousness, you go crazy. But if you grow at a nice gradual rate, you hit these different traumas, like this, you're kind of fucked up for a couple of days or even a couple of years, in my case, from some of the really harsh ones that I've got. So there was a lot of different things that kind of gradually allowed me to sort of grow and experience that, learning how to execute on everything, learning how to cope with the added crazy shit going on, learning how to cope with crises, just slowly building it up. And, my kind of hope for this is that after, say, a couple decades of it, I've got a nice, deep, good foundation for success. And really kind of what I hope for you is that you want to achieve the same thing. What I'd say to you is, look, as you're going through your journey, realize that you're going to have success barriers that hold you back from moving too fast. And that's fine. And you should push into them, just like being at the gym. Just, you hit that next weight level and you got to push through it. It's going to hurt. Just realize that those success barriers are there to help you, though, just like how pushing that weight is there to help you as you develop thicker tendons, bigger muscles. It's there to help you. Keep increasing the level of understanding that you have, the complexity. Keep increasing the level of stress that your emotions can tolerate. And sort of a way of engaging with the world where little petty things don't bother you as much as it bothers the regular person. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't defend yourself against those things. It doesn't mean you can't stand up for yourself. It just means that you'll have a greater perspective towards all of this. Don't be afraid of emotional trauma. Okay? The road to success is basically paved with really cool highs and really low lows. And the difference between an enjoyable journey versus a very painful journey is that when you realize the context of what's occurring, that basically your emotional immune system is actually building up and getting used to being hit harder and harder and harder, when you realize that your mind is being conditioned to understand deeper layers of complexity and to navigate a more complex landscape, when you realize that that's basically what's happening, when you're getting knocked and all that, that is what is going to make the journey a lot more enjoyable. What I think it ultimately comes down with is not being wounded. You can get hit, you can get hurt, but don't become a wounded human being. Adapt your behavior. Obviously learn how to navigate a more complex environment. But keep yourself open, keep yourself childlike, and enjoy the world, okay? Do the bad things even as a lesson about what the world's all about. Just keep enjoying it. The world is only bad relative to some perfection that does not exist. So enjoy it for what it is.
Every morning, I rise. My feet touch the floor. I'm prepared for war, prepared to grow, ready for more. Average will never live in me. I'll show all you doubts. I will fight. I will win. You will see. I'm ready to give all I have. I was born ready to contribute, ready to create, ready to grow. Can't stop, won't slow. Greatness was never achieved by those who took the easy road. I flicked that switch, turned on beast mode. I know I must work. I know I must push. I know I must sacrifice. I will work. I will push. I will sacrifice. Never will I take advantage. I add value to all. I give my all for the benefit of all. I'll never take advantage. I'll never drop the ball. I'll lead with integrity. I will stand tall. My legacy is on the line. My pride is on the line. My integrity is on the line. My life is on the line. Never will I settle for less than I can be. Average will never ever live in me. It's what I fear the most, being like the rest. I will not rest until I'm better than the very best. Until I'm better than yesterday. Then I'll catch my breath, recharge, and go again. Go harder, learn more, grow more, so I can give more, so I can be proud, of what I've become. Proud because I've always given my all. Whether I lost or won, I kept going. I showed heart. I showed courage. I showed what I was made of. That's why I'm proud. I did it my way, not the easy way. My way. I didn't listen to others, my father or mother. I did what's best for me. I worked for it. I fought for it. I created my own legacy.
The key, the very, very key is you really, really, really have to dream big. Have no restrictions. Of course you can sit down and say, okay, I want to have a nice life. I want to have a wife and a house and a job that's okay, you know? I mean, it sucks that I have to get up in the morning, but it's okay, I get money. No, I'm not talking about goals like these. I'm talking about, imagine you could literally become anything in the world. You have no restrictions. Imagine what would that be? And that's pretty much the mindset you want to have. You want to dream big. You want to have no restrictions. You want to be really ridiculous. Okay, that's your dream. But now here comes the important point. Think about it. How could that be achieved? Now you have to bring in some realism. You want to be realistic. Don't forget, you still want to have your dream, but you want to be realistic. Okay, what does it take to do that? Habitualize what brings you further. You want to do everything that brings you further in such a frequency that it literally becomes a habit. I'm not talking about, oh, I'm going to the gym today. No, it has to become a habit. Just like it became a habit for you that you drink coffee in the morning. It has to become a habit just like that. For me, habits, meditation. I meditate every day. It's a habit. I just do it. I don't even think about it anymore. It's like, oh, I haven't meditated today. Meditation. It has to become a habit. Once it has become a habit, just do it every day and you will progress. Continuity. Commit to massive action. I cannot emphasize that enough. There has to be continuity. When you want to get better, don't just do it for one fucking week. No, you have to continue doing it for days, weeks, months, years. It's a continuous thing that you have to do. You really have to commit to taking massive action. Always bear in mind, when you're sitting at home watching TV, you're not getting better. When you're sitting at home watching TV, there's someone else out there who's working his ass off. There's someone else out there who's getting better. He's taking the process and the progress that you should do.
When you talk about making your dash dance, point one, you got to be willing to do it afraid. See, you might be waiting for the fear to stop. So many times we're waiting. I'm waiting to get something right. I see your hands going up. You guys know, if it's your truth, you can raise your hand just like we did on day 0. You're just kind of waiting. You're waiting to get everything in order. You're waiting so that everything is in you, it's together. You're waiting to not be afraid. You're waiting to have the courage. You're waiting to have all the money. You're waiting to lose weight. I'm afraid, what do? Do it anyway. I'm afraid, I don't quite know if I should move. Move anyway. I don't know if I should leap afraid. And then gather your courage on the way down. And if you don't get it before you hit, you're just gonna hit anyway. I'd rather die leaping than on the edge figuring out how to get the courage to leap. How does that look? Because your 80% of right is somebody else's 159% of what they needed. When you want to do it right and you want to wait till you're not afraid and you want to wait till you have it all together, oh, you made it about you again. See, Nelson Mandela did it. He just did it not knowing if it were right. Mahatma Gandhi just did it not knowing if it were right. Mother Teresa just did it not looking for affirmation or confirmation. Is this right? Martin Luther King did it not even knowing if it would happen before his life ended. What are you waiting on? Are you willing to do it afraid? Are you willing to do it knowing that you got so much work to do to get it better, to get it more perfect? But are you willing to do it inside your imperfection? Do you realize that in your imperfection, you're perfect for the job?
The easiest thing to do. It's a natural human inclination when you're comfortable, when you're relaxed, when you have some semblance of good emotions, to just chill there and not risk it. To not step out of that comfort zone. It's evolutionary, right? Once you have kind of a good thing, you have a chance of passing your genes along, you don't want to fuck it up. You don't want to take those risks. You don't want to keep excelling. You don't want to put that pressure on yourself. Ironically, the more that you step up, the more that you become a champion, the more you're putting yourself in the spotlight, the more you're gonna put that pressure on yourself. It's so much easier to have an excuse. How much easier would it be, say you're like a football player, to like drop that pass in middle school football and say the sun was in your eyes, versus catching it, becoming a hero, going to high school, putting years in the weight room, trying to become a star there, trying to get to college, become more years in the weight room, years of like draining, super hard fucking work on your body and your mind, and then years to try and make it professionally. So much work, so much pressure, so many people watching you, so hard to do. How much easier is it to have that excuse when you're a young kid and just, oh, I'm sorry, the sun was in my eye, I'm sorry I tripped, oh, I just wasn't that good of an athlete. It's easy, it's comfortable, nobody will ever know. Nobody ever knows all the opportunities you could have had in your life that you didn't take, right? Nobody ever sees that. They just see, you know, your safe, comfortable, easy life. Most extreme example of this would be suicide. Dark topic. But think about it. Like when you see people like they write their suicide notes, like I couldn't take it anymore. It was so much pain. I just couldn't handle the struggle. Right? They just wanted a way out. They wanted a way to hide from life. To just be comfortable and avoid any negative emotions. And suicide's the most extreme example of that. But people actually, in a certain sense, commit little suicides every day. Every time you see that hot girl and you go talk to her, every time you could push for like a promotion at work or push to go out and like do your dream job and you stick with the safe, comfortable, sickly, easy job, you're not pushing yourself, you're not going outside of that comfort zone. So basically you're just taking that small death over and over and over again. And that's not the life you want to have. When I die, I want my grave to say, he lived his life, not he died little by little every single fucking day. So strive for that. Will it be easy? No. Will it be worth it? Probably. I'll tell you when I'm 80. Live for greatness, not for like avoiding negative emotions. Nobody remembers someone who lived his life safe and comfortable and just avoided bad feelings. That's weak, that's chode, fuck that.
When we're laying on our deathbed, you're not going to worry about how much money you had, how much power you had, how much prestige. You're going to see that that was all game, that was all an illusion. The only thing's going to matter is the impact you had on other people's lives.
We are all on a separate journey. But the beautiful thing about our life here on this earth is at my funeral, they ain't going to talk about my success. They're going to talk about who Nick was and how Nick lived and how Nick loved and encouraged.